mates who don't shave every day and don't want their love to be smothered by dim lights, candles, and the latest, decidedly average trip-hop compilation album playing softly in the background. Because romance should be punk rock on heat, trombones pounding bass and strobing riffs, we simultaneously sponge in and blank everything as we sink into that kiss. Nothing but sucking lips and the hot breath of bags and booze, and by Christ, that smell suits you so well. Meanwhile, TV and magazines are forcing their way down my retina, penetrating my ears, shrieking at me that I should work out more, eat better, smoke less, drink less, which would rip a knife from our romantic life. Announcing an end to random chats over stamped fag ends outside pubs, getting lost, staring into ever-widening pupils, holding hands with unsteady grips and giggling with mouthfuls of dripping, damp falafel. Because I refuse for my sex to be tastefully shot under the pale blue moonlight with strings on the soundtrack in slow-mo. Because I want my hard-ons to be red, pure and pumping raw, and not muscle-straining attempts to impress as we both drunkenly undress. Jumpers, then t-shirts, then pursed lips, touch torsos, never mind the flab. That's how real people are built. And then socks are pulled off ungracefully because it's the only way socks can be pulled off. Fiddling awkwardly with zips and clanking buckles, the jeans crumple to the floor, make sure you've shut the door, then the pants fly off, all smiles and giggles. The bed creaks like a gorgeously untuned fiddle from the crashing and the tumbling. And it's fumbling as we clumsily burn towards a climax, wrapped with awkwardness, soaked with poorly ad-libbed pornographic whispers. That's the way it's supposed to be. And if it doesn't match the forced ideal we see, we're supposed to roll off frustrated and pissed. But let me tell you that perfect sex doesn't exist, which is good news. So I'd much rather have the human elements, of all the nerves and shaking excitements, with all the pumping skin and humming brains, of all the sweat and all the unidentifiable stains, all the bumping knees and all the apologies. There is no sex and relationship 101 to follow, no real criteria and therefore no need to feel inferior. And the butterflies swarming at the pit of your gut, they're a great thing because they show you care. There is no tempering plan, no relationship career ladder where you go from fuck buddy to seeing each other to going out. Those labels are fables. I've seen too many couples subscribe to these ideas of a perfect life, gluing myths and preconceptions to terms like husband and wife, and they only ever become unstuck in a mess of blaming confusion. Because the only person who can define your love, your sex, and your relationships is you, and those involved with you. Be scared and enjoy every minute of it. Because it's all so much better when you stumble through it blindly. Nice one. Cheers. Thank you. That wasn't too weird, was it? That wasn't too weird. Right. Awesome. This is lovely, isn't it? Has everyone had a chance to see all the amazing artwork? It's rocks. It's awesome. Awesome. This one's about a friend of mine, and it goes like this. 7 years. 7 years between when you left and when you came back. There have been flirtations and meeting up, quick snatch chats on MSN, but I thought, nah, this is the end. Another friendship gone. Time to move on. Because anything rooted in rootless nostalgia is doomed from the start, all sugar and violins of no muscle or heart, and I remember the afternoon of your depart. Your eyes shot through with a sad bulging blue as we all stood on the platform and waved and waved, the painful awkwardness saved by your train pulling away with an ugly metallic creak. And over those 7 years, I get little trickles of shifts in your life through friends and friends of friends. You've got a long-term boyfriend. then a fiancé, then you're pregnant, then you're married, the baby's called Liam. All these things arrive as tiny, muffled bombs that I diffuse in the margins of my brain because I've got nothing but disdain for that kind of way. All paid up, cuddly and settled, tagged with sickening pet names like Monkey or Petal, and just the words coffee morning dissolve my metal and make me want to take a handful of pills and run, rave, scream for the hills. A shell devoid of thrills, blunted at the edges, viewing existence as tiny upward steps and insistence on living life like a pet. Kept in line, like a stopped clock kidded into still thinking it's still keeping time. Because I hear you're serving coffee at Costa, and I reckon it will cost you your whole future, and I've got images of you serving lattes to dickheads with a sweaty forehead and a forced smile, and I reckon you're worth way more than a billion how are yous, would you like anything else is, or thank yous. And I'm still struggling for independence, still trying to fit the pieces together. Still a bit naive, still trying to make sense, still dressing like a teenager, still talking like Peter Pan just tripped over Chomsky, but the rent's piling on, and HSBC have me by the balls, still too often making that pathetic phone call, all right mum, can I borrow some money? And I've got the nerve to think of your life as gift wrapped, but who's the one who's really trapped? 7 years. 7 years, and I admit I was originally tempted down to meet you by the promise of free food and booze at Wagamama's because our friend works there and I'm fucking skint. But I see you, and my mouth becomes a mixture of garbled words waterlogged with cliches because you've still got that same bounce, same glow, same shine, and you hug me, and it still feels like a billion pillows. But really though, as we chat, I feel all the stitches I sew undo because you talk about all the waiting you've had to do. How love for someone else can sometimes hold you back. And I realise that a lack of compromise can sometimes leave you stranded, empty-handed, on an island of your own making. And I'm lucky enough not to have waited a single second. Lucky enough not to have reality really beckon. No babies, no marriage, no responsibility. Time to sit around and talk punk rock, veganism and anarchy. Life frozen, posing in action, hands out for the catching, ratcheting it up. So still, but so assured. But that's time that most people can't afford. And I remember the cut of a cord, and I think of my mum. Now, she was moored with 2 growing boys on her own, and maybe it's not what she really wanted. Well, people get older and things fall out of range. Their parameters change. Stupid real life gets in the way. Missed opportunities, missed hopes, missed dreams sit on the waiting pile a mile from our concerns, and sometimes it's best to just let your losses burn. And I'm no hippie. I'm not saying go camp in a field, rub some stones together, get rid of your negative energy or any of that shite. And I'm certainly not saying that some things aren't worth the fight. But just for a moment, respect that free will is a luxury. And reflect on the fact that your choices can't always be right. And just when you think you've got your shit down tight, the ceiling might just cave in, and with bleeding fingernails you've got to scramble over the rubble to reach for daylight. Sitting still, doing nothing but reading, watching, and rambling is never a gamble, never a risk. But putting your life on hold for someone that you love, putting your life on the line for something you believe, that takes balls. You dust your bleeding knees off after every fall, and still you keep going. Because with you, there's no shouldn'ts, and there's no can'ts. And you taught me what it really means to take a chance. Cheers, thanks. Happy birthday. I'm not sure what to do now, because the space is quite unlike anything I've played in, and the audience is sort of slightly quite disparate, isn't it? Like it's all spread out quite a lot. So what I'm sure to do, I've got some more really depressing ones. Loads more, actually. Loads, fucking loads of them. But I sort of also have some ones which are supposed to be funny. Now I say supposed to be funny, because if you don't find them funny, that's kind of my get-out clause, isn't it? Like, you know, I kind of get away with them. But I don't know, is everyone going to be for? Does everyone care? Does everyone want me to leave? Does everyone just go home and do the rest of the set in the privacy of my own bedroom where I won't bother anyone? Is that, what do people, what do you want, people?
Do another.
Another one. So, yeah, alright. Right, let's do, this one. This was about, yeah, alright, being a teenager, that was shit, wasn't it? Everyone knows that, right? That was rubbish, right? And people who look back on their lives later on and say, oh, school days, they're the best of your life, weren't they? They were brilliant. They're brilliant. They're wrong, and they're lying, stupid, mad, or rich, or all four, right? They don't know what they're talking about, right? It's just like, I don't know how anyone sort of escapes like the state school system or a private school system without some sort of massive, debilitating mental disorder, right? It's incredible to me. Or either that or we all have it, and it doesn't matter, does it? This one's kind of about like people sort of who look back